So the other day I was scrolling a bit on the Bluey subreddit, great start I know, and yeah, that place is kinda known to be a bit of a drama, low effort, meme filled cesspool, and not exactly the greatest place in the fandom at times, but credit where credit is due. When stuff like that isn't happening, it's not all bad, and once in a while, I can actually find something decent. Which leads us to today's topic, 1-star Bluey reviews. I saw a post about it recently on the subreddit, and at first I didn't really give it much attention, because in my opinion, it's perfectly fine for people to not like the show, and I'll admit, Bluey isn't for everyone, but that is not what was happening here. There's a key difference between disliking something because it's just not your thing, or disliking something because of incredibly bizarre, minor, and downright nonsensical reasons, some of which might not even be remotely related to the show. And today, those are the types of reviews we're going to be looking at, as some of them are a bit weird and possibly even controversial, but also just downright hilarious. So without a further ado, let the chaos begin. Alright, so right now I'm just about to pull up the reviews on my computer. Of course, naturally, most of them are pretty high reviews. There's a huge amount of 5-star ratings which take up almost all the reviews, with a little section of 1-star reviews on the bottom, as you can see. I'm sure I'm gonna have to skip most of these because not everyone is a crazy, rambling conspiracy theorist, but yeah, we're definitely gonna find a few unhinged ones, I can just feel it. I don't understand the hype for this show at all. I understand that this show has messages such as abortion, divorce, and such, but it's not all that good? Okay. The show is a terrible influence on its proper audience. When I say this, I mean the kids, not 35-year-old Discord simps. All they learn to do is backchat their parents, throw fits, and act like spoiled little brats. It's almost like in this show, the kids run their universe, and the parents just succumb into their needs. Again, enforced LGBT. I don't think you mentioned it before, but okay, sure, whatever. I remember the last episode I watched with my daughter, one of the dogs said, "My mom's." And obviously being the curious little girl she is, she asked why did he say moms? And as a parent, my child is way too young to learn about that stuff. Bluey isn't allowed in my household anymore. No clue why it's made CBBs as well. Okay, so starting off, I have no idea which episode talks about abortion. I can't recall one. And yes, they did have that one single line in the sign where Pretzel refers to his two moms, which even then is still kind of ambiguous or up in the air because we're not really sure if he actually has two moms or if it was just the way he was saying it. And you know, as I mentioned, it was literally one line in the entire show. It wasn't even like a prominent or big deal. But the next one here comes from this guy who said, "Are you serious? This was a fun show, watched frequently, until you tried to hide the Bluey character." I don't know what they're talking about because she's still very much the main character, but okay. "No more indoctrinational episodes." I have no idea which episode was indoctrinating kids, but alright, let's keep going. "Shut off from my household. Full stop. Perhaps why Australia is in the G20 and we're in the top 3? JS. Move on and join defense instead of protecting your cartoons. Or Barrier Reef. Just saying." Dang, even the Barrier Reef's catching strays from this, shaking my head. There's way better ways to spend Australia's spending, rather than a cartoon. But since you do not veto powers, and it just ends right there. But okay, yeah, I think this one I already explained enough why it's kind of a weird review. Like, there's nothing really indoctrinational about it. I think people are just getting way over their head. And also just the stuff like, "shut off from my household," or talking about how they need to spend more money towards defense and having the Barrier Reef catching strays out here is just, like, they're already suffering enough, okay, from global warming. You didn't have to drag them into this, come on. Alright, so speaking of LGBTQ complaints, we got another one which says, "LGBTQ plus shouldn't be represented so openly in a show 4-year-olds watch. Just show legs of 2 adult dogs, similar to Cow and Chicken." Kind of a random reference and a pretty old cartoon, but I guess this person's probably like a millennial or Gen Xer, but anyways. "Not fighting with LGBTQ plus community, but asking the entertainment industry to respect that we don't want children that young thinking anything, whether it's homosexual parents or heterosexual parents, Just show the legs. And both types of parents are happy. I am unsubscribing to Disney Plus, same as many other parents I know are tired of this. That's too young to talk about the birds and the bees in my opinion. And okay, this one is just kinda random. First off, I don't know what's the obsession with legs here. And second of all, since when did they talk about the birds and the bees, like in any episode? I mean, they kind of like infer to it in some episodes as a joke when like Bingo asks Bandit where do babies come from? And even then, it seems like they mostly pass it off as a joke and don't actually explain it. So I have no idea what this person is complaining about. And of course, they just had to throw in the classic ultra scary threat that they're gonna unsubscribe from Disney Plus, which I'm sure the company probably cares a whole lot about, considering that they're such a small company that's obviously barely scraping by. But yeah, moving on. Oh man, this next one's good. My 3.5-year-old was drawn into this show by the music. I guess your child has pretty good music, I'll give them credit for that. But after watching a few episodes with her, I find this show to be disgusting in the way it teaches bad habits such as passing gas, wiping windows with your butt, kicking and back-talking to a parent. The dad is an idiot most of the episodes. I get it to show kids more engagement with their dad, but does every episode have to star the dad? Way too far from Sesame Street. Oh man. I mean, to be fair, Brisbane is pretty far from New York City where Sesame Street takes place, but I guess I can actually understand what this person is going for because Bluey does have quite a few juvenile moments, and obviously while this type of stuff doesn't bother me or my family, I know that there are strict parents who don't like their kids to really grow up with this stuff, so you know what? As much as your review made me laugh, I'm gonna give you a pass for this one. And apparently 38 other people also did too, so I guess I'm not the only one? However, one thing I won't give a pass is that Bandit slander. Dr. Bandit Custard Healer slander is the one thing not allowed in my household. How dare you! And oh boy, I already see the word gay and God, so you know this next one's gonna be good. I don't think it's right with a WR, to program our children to it is okay to be right in God's eyes. This is a gay ran world now. Almost, whatever that symbol is. Everyone signing these bills are gay. The cartoon is so pushing out the way we want to raise our children. The correct straight way of living. So confusing. Yeah, those last two words pretty much sum up my thoughts. Because your grammar is so bad, I have literally no clue what you just said. Your review is about to give me a stroke. The only thing that needs to be strained out here is your grammar, because my god is it terrible. Alright, so we got one from my buddy Juan over here, and it says, even Peppa Pig is better than Bluey. Now that's a statement I don't hear too often. Let me compare the two, starting with Peppa. Peppa Pig is a show that I liked when I was little, like 3 years old or something. Peppa has a little brother named George, and her parents are Mummy Pig and Daddy Pig. She is sometimes bossy, but she is not that bossy. Bluey is a spoiled brat who is disrespectful. I mean, like, inappropriate things happen. 1. Wiping windows with Bandit's butt? 2. Hurting people purposely? 3. Annoying people when they are busy? This is no good. 0 out of 10.
Bluey is no good.
I mean, are we just gonna completely ignore the fact that Peppa is also kind of a brat and George just cries nonstop and they both kind of annoy their parents too? Oh, we are? Okay, sure. Why not? So speaking of characters being spoiled brats, we got another one over here. Trust me, I really despise that show so much. Plus, I would have rated it 0 stars. Wanna know why exactly? Well, admittedly I am pretty curious, that's why I'm doing this video. The kids are very spoiled brats like Caillou, and forces people to do what they want. And that's why it's so annoying to me, and I'm super sick to death of that show. Edit. One thing I forgot to say is that I also don't like the animations. Okay, so you know what? I will admit that I can kinda see where this person is getting from, but if y'all compared those blue healers to that demon brat Caillou, that's going too far. And you didn't even have to throw in the animations either, you're just throwing strays at this point. I saw an episode of this show and it's inappropriate for kids due to the sexuality involved in it? What? Kids don't need to see any sexuality in kids shows. My son won't be watching this indoctrinated show. Hopefully y'all repent for letting the kids watch this. Matthew 18:6-7. Okay, so I know I'm reading this on a Sunday, but apparently this is just church now, as we're quoting Bible verses? I have no idea what this has to do with Bluey, or what scene in Bluey was sexual, but okay, you do you, I guess. Go watch Chip Chilla or something. And then another one says, the show has crying and crying. I don't get it. This cast of Bluette have to act like they're nice selves all the time? Like, who cuts their hair just to go out to the mud? Don't watch the movie or series! Bad education for kids. Well, first off, I guess you must be a time traveler because the movie's not coming out till 2 years. And second of all, how is them cutting their hair to go and play in the mud a bad thing? Like, that is one of the weirdest and most random critiques of a show I've ever seen. Oh, and then over here there's another comment that says, it was a great show that we loved a lot as a family until they chose to put a gay couple in it. Incredibly disappointed. We have to see out everything Bluey and will not be watching any future seasons or episodes. Once again, what is this gay couple or gay person these people are talking about? Because yeah, Pretzel is implied to have 2 moms in a single line in one special, but we don't even like see his moms or see any gay characters. What are these people talking about? Was there just like a gay character or an entire episode themed to Pride Month that I just never saw? Because that's the impression I'm getting from these reviews, as based on what I saw, this really isn't that big of a deal, and pretty subtle if I might argue. But going to something a bit lighter, we got, this show is horrible. It's literally a rip-off version of Peppa Pig, and some episodes are horrible. In one of them, Bluey takes a hurt bird to the vet, and the vet comes to tell him it died. That's so sad and shouldn't be on a kid show. Now, I know it's bad to assume things, but something tells me this person has barely watched the show and, if anything, has probably only seen 1 episode. First off, they make the beginner's mistake of referring to Bluey as a him.
I'm a girl!
And also, do they really think that a single animal dying in 1 episode is like a super bad, tragic event that's gonna traumatize children? Because like, you know, death does happen in real life, right? And some kids do have to go through that experience through older relatives or pets. I feel like kids should learn about that type of thing on a simpler level, which is exactly what Bluey did, but, you know, maybe my parents were just way too chill or something, I don't know. And then, oh boy, this one's a doozy. Grooming agenda to control children. You guys pro-ist. This would not be an issue, and failed to that promise. Why does my kid need to hear about 2 moms in a kid show? Disappointed. But yeah, I'm just gonna be honest, it's kind of crazy how many people are just complaining about a single character saying a single line in a single episode and acting like this tainted the entire show. I didn't even know this was that particularly controversial, or that many people noticed it. If anything, I wouldn't be surprised if these people just heard about it online from like some TikToker or guy on X or something, and are just complaining about it to review bomb the show, but maybe some of these are genuine parents, I have no idea. But yeah, with that said, we got some people complaining about Pretzel apparently having 2 moms, which was like a super big scandal apparently that I never noticed. And just people complaining about how it's a ripoff of Peppa, which honestly, if it's doing the original source way better and not being terrible, is it really a ripoff? But anyways, I want to skip a few and get to some really unhinged reviews because I know there's some that are a lot more crazy. I don't like it because furry. It is super goofy and not educational. Kids should not watch this, let alone adults. So apparently this person doesn't like Bluey because they think it's too silly and that it's like a furry cartoon, which honestly doesn't really seem to make sense because Bluey is like one of the least furry shows out there. I mean, the animals are literally freaking rectangles. And oh man, this one is gold too. This show isn't cool. Not big fan. Oh no. The dad has low testosterone? And the kids are worse than Caillou. Okay, first off, why are they really comparing these kids to Caillou? That's not a fair comparison. And second of all, what do you even mean the dad has low testosterone? Like, I'm gonna have to look that up to see what it means. I don't even know what this person is talking about. Yeah, I don't know what this person is talking about. I legit don't know. I feel like I got robbed. Show was 30 minutes long for $300 for a family of 4. Well, first off, I didn't know Disney Plus was that expensive apparently, but in all seriousness, I think this person is talking about the live play show, which admittedly is pretty expensive for what you get, so honestly that's kind of a valid comment. Although, of course, it has nothing to do with the actual show. You're in the completely wrong section. How dare you put a drag queen on a children's cartoon? They are small children. That your sick woke agenda and leave our children alone! Exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark, and so forth. And yeah, once again, going back to that other comment about the low testosterone, I have no idea what these people are talking about because once again, Bandit does dress up as like a lady kind of and wears makeup, but even then that's clearly done as a joke and not meant to be a serious reflection. So once again, this comment is just completely frivolous. Bluey is overtly sexual because the way Bluey and his mom spend time together is extremely inappropriate. This show should be banned. What are you talking about? Oh, I'm laughing before I even get to this one. Oh man, this is probably gonna be the best one. Bad, bad, bad. The orange dog scares me and I think it is possessed. Please remove from all streaming platforms immediately. What are you talking? The orange dog is possessed? When is there an episode where a character gets possessed? Like, apparently I missed out on the Pride Parade episode, and now I missed out on the episode where Bingo gets possessed? Like, are y'all getting season 4 before us or something? Or have I just not heard about it? When does she get possessed in any episode? How? What? I'm a loss for words. And I mean, I guess maybe they're referring to the magic when she uses the feather wand or something, but I don't know if I would call that possessed. This is just getting completely out of hand. And honestly, from here I was gonna read more, but that was actually pretty much it. To my surprise, there aren't actually that many negative reviews on the show, or at least ones bizarre enough to make me question my sanity. And in general, I guess all of this commotion goes to show that people can like, or in this case, dislike things for a lot of different reasons. Whether it's due to a character throwing a tantrum and having a negative influence on young viewers, a show simply not being their style or preference, or a single passing line spoken in one episode that's gonna completely indoctrinate your kids and ruin their lives, apparently? Along with an evil, possessed orange dog and her low testosterone dad. But with all that said, this was just a quick video I wanted to make, as I just felt like I had to share some of these crazy reviews, because they gave me a really good laugh, and hopefully this whole thing won't be too controversial. But until next time, my name's Hideaki, and I'll be signing out. Goodbye everyone.